Hello, you join me today while I eat a banana punch energy bar thing. Energize, it says power bar. I've had one bite already. Tastes all right. It's a bit like, it's got that kind of tutti fruity chewing gum kind of flavour texture to it. Yeah, not bad. Quite like these. Much better than the other power bar I had. Very nice. Anyway, you join me today. This is Wednesday, the whatever of May. First Wednesday in May. Don't ask me what day it is. Probably the 6th or 7th. All days seem to roll into one, don't they? Just give you a quick wipe. Looking a bit blurry. There you are. How's that? Anyway. Let's start the blog properly. My name is Andrew and I live in Hull, East Yorkshire, and I'm a cyclist, as you can probably gather. This is my last day that I'm going to do of the charity fundraising. I'm not doing very well. I've only raised £57 of my £100 that I pledged. I said I'd do 100 miles. Well, by the time I get home, I would have done about 165 miles and only raised £57. I've had a couple of anonymous donations. I've had some donors that I know from my YouTube and Facebook. I've donated. Mum and Dad has donated. Long-suffering Mrs. Old Man, she's also donated. So we're up to £57, which is not a lot. I've tried putting it on social media, putting it out to all my YouTube and Facebook followers, and nah. Obviously I've got the wrong kind of face for raising charity. I know I've probably got the face for radio, but there you go. Anyway, yep. So this is I've actually although I broke my finger a while back, it's beginning to recover now. I've got almost full use of it now. It's still a bit tender if I pick up something wrong, or if I try to pick up a cup of tea in this hand using this finger as a rest for the handle for the cup. It's a bit painful still. It's just not right, but I'm getting there. It's getting better. Almost full use of it. Well, the weather, I thought it was a nice day to come out today. Yeah, so I've done a month of cycling for charity, coming out when I didn't want to, coming out with a broken finger when I should really have stayed at home. The bike's doing really well. I love the new tyres. I don't know if I showed you the new tyres, but they're Panaracer Fire XC Pros, they're called. They're 2.1 tubeless ready tyres, and I like them. I did have Mavericks in there before. Was it Mavericks? Anyway, whatever I had in there before, I wasn't quite. They weren't quite good in the wet. They were a bit slippery in the wet, and it caused me to go down last year when my front tyre slipped on some wood and I went down, bang. That hurt. So anyway, I've got these new tyres. I might have to show you some pictures. They've got nice red rims around the side, yeah, I like them a lot. No, it's my wheels are Mavics, that's right. My wheels are Mavics. Mavic Crossfire, I believe it says. Crossride. So, yeah, they'll do. But having a mountain bike with 26-inch wheels, it's getting very hard to find new wheels. Oh, sorry, I had a hiccup then. I had to stop and pause. Right, yeah, my old mountain bike has got 26-inch wheels, and trying to find new 26-inch wheels with rim brakes is pretty hard, because most bikes are now got, especially mountain bikes, mostly of those are they have disc brakes. But I've had this bike since the early 90s, so it's over 25 years old. I've got front forks which are rock shocks, and I have a front disc up front, which is very, braking. Most of the braking is done with the front brake anyway, and the rear wheel with the XTR brakes. I mean, they stop it dead anyway with the rear. So probably I've got the best of both worlds at the moment. I do need a new bike, I must admit. So I have to start saving my pennies for that, and we'll see what happens. If I get another job, which doesn't look likely at the moment because nobody's hiring, and most ships that I would work on, they're not doing crew reliefs while this pandemic is happening. So the crews are having to stay on their ships, and everyone else is still at home on being furloughed, whatever it is called, the government scheme for paying. But as I got laid off at the very start of the pandemic, the lockdown, the government's lockdown, I was let go before they could, if they kept me on, I could have claimed money off the government, but they let me go. Obviously they didn't know what was happening, so they let me go. Anyway, let's have another bite of this energy bar. Another cyclist. Never seen too many cyclists as I have along here, not especially during this lockdown. But there's a section 2B states you're allowed to go out exercising on your own or with other family members. There's no mention of time limits. There's no mention of how many times a day you can go out. And there's no mention of how far you can go. So as long as you're on your own or with other family members, you can go out as often and as long as you want. I normally do 3.5 hours, 24 miles, and then I go back home again. I'm only 12 miles from home, so if I had to walk, I could be home in 3 hours, if I'm lucky. That's assuming that I break down at my very furthest. And Sarah's at home, so she could possibly come and rescue me if I needed to. I told you that Sarah works in a care home. Well, they've had about 3 to 4 patients test positive for coronavirus. One man died from coronavirus, and I don't know whether he died from coronavirus or he died with it, but he was tested positive after he had died. Right.
Oh, there.
See what I mean about more cyclists. Well, and a very badly mechanical bike, that one. You could hear it crunching away, even for an e-bike. Anyway, we digressed. Yeah, so yes, coronavirus is present at the moment. My wife is exposed to the virus. They're not sure how the virus came in to the home, because the home has not allowed visitors, and none of the staff have tested positive. Because Sarah's a key worker, she was eligible for the government test for coronavirus, and I've had the test for the coronavirus, and I've proved negative as well. Well, it's only valid for the day that you do the test. You can catch it in the afternoon, 10 minutes after you've had the test. You can catch it. What they need to be testing for is coronavirus antibodies to see if you've had it. if you've got the antivirus, antibodies in your bloodstream, you might not catch it a second time. But the jury's out on that, whether you can catch it a second time or not. There is science behind it, but I don't need to go into all that. Yeah, so anyway, this is, I've got my thing on heart rate, so I can't tell you what date it is. But yeah, it's Wednesday, first Wednesday in May, and it's a glorious sunny day. I shall enjoy editing this video when I get back. Try and shorten it down to below 10 minutes. Anyway, right, it's time to go. I'll see you all later.